Hello and welcome back to Gateway to Geats, the video series where I'm reviewing Geats. That's what I'm doing. It's late. I'm tired. It's been a day. Not a bad day. It's just been a day. But yeah, no, this arc is definitely dealing with interesting things of Geats and so on and variety. Mostly with the disaster. It's a very interesting concept of like. It is an imposter, it is Among Us, it's all the bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But it is really putting a focus on how this game and the people who control this game and do all that kind of stuff kind of force the players against each other. Like, it is shown time and time again that the players would do their best when working as a team, when working together, but the show demands them to be at each other's throats, you know what I mean? And it's really just showing how they are seen as just tools for entertainment for the sponsors and all that kind of stuff. Case in point, let's take a look at Buffa. Because in the last episode, he got taken back to the garden. And in this episode, he's like thrown in front of the gardener and he goes like, hello, there you are. And they just leave him to his things. They take the Buffa core to do all that kind of stuff. And he is confronted, it's not the best word, but he is talked to by the sponsor for the Yamato. Okay, first things first, the Yamato are a sponsor, have a sponsor. They're not in this, like, they're not controlled by the game themselves. That's interesting. But secondly, this person wants the Yamato to win, and she just goes, hey, Buffa, you're turning into a Yamato. Holy crap. So there's a wide variety of ways for people to become Yamatos, as it seems like so far. And later on in the A-plot, he does run into Geats, and they do a little big ol' fight. Of course, Buffa loses, Geats wins, and Buffa just goes like, fuck you, I'll go do my own thing. Because earlier in the episode, the goth girl, who is the sponsor for the Yamato, said like, hey, do what I say, and you can like beat all the Kamen Riders that we all know you want to do. And he's like, yeah, you know what, that's fair. And ultimately, it's just kind of showing that to the players, this is life and death. For Geats and Buffa, this was a battle. They were like a conflict of ideals. But for the goth girl, she's just like, oh, whatever, you're a Yamato. You want to do what I say? Cool. You don't want to? That's fine, whatever. They're just tools. They're just play tokens. And even more so, it's shown in the callousness that the host shows, the new host has been showing about the disaster, as basically of like, we put a traitor amongst you. Isn't that funny? Isn't that wacky? And we don't really have much time to dwell on it, because Keiwa gets a call from his sister. She's like, I got a pineapple. I don't know where it came from. And it says I gotta eat it before sundown, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. And then we get the game. The Yamato have been planting bombs all over a certain area. They have to go beat all the Yamato who placed the bombs. But the big twist of this is Keiwa's sister is wrapped in the crossfire of all the bomb bullshit. And she is wrapped up in the wires of the bomb that she was given, and there's red and blue, and they don't know which one to cut, and it's all kinds of dangerous, right? So through talking with Geats, Keiwa does understand, like, okay, when we beat certain Yamato, their bombs disappear. So if I beat the pineapple one, the person who's been labeled the pineapple bombs, I could figure out how to dismantle the bomb that's going to hurt my sister. And they're like, all right, cool, we have a plan. And he just goes at it, and he's relentless, right? He beats up guys, he does all the things, and he finds the pineapple guy, and he's like, all right, cool. He starts beating on him. He escapes into a warehouse. And Keiwa's just like, I can't beat it. All right, cool. Hey, Lopo, I'm going to take your zombie, use the chainsaw, and get in there. And it's like full on an Ace moment. It's great. It's very much showing like Ace's tenacity is rubbing off on Keiwa, and Keiwa's kindness is rubbing off on Ace, because they helped each other. They were working together. It was great. even more so when we look at it through Geats' point of view, right? So he beats the pineapple bomb layer. He figures out which cable that needs to be cut. He goes, he does it. He cut the wire at the nick of time and goes on and save the day. It's great. But ultimately, the game doesn't care that she was in danger. The game does not care anybody was in danger. It's just like, all right, cool. Go save the day. No concern, no talking about it. Just like, nope, go save the day. And it's doubly certain of, like, they don't care who gets hurt in the crossfire, right? Because we learn a little bit more about Lopo this episode, because Lopo and Nago have been sharing some great moments. Nago also gets some good moments in this. It's very much more on the receptive, like, listening end, but Lopo shares that basically her family owned a restaurant, her father died, and she really wants to have a good, healthy body to work for her family. And it's just like, oh, that's honestly kind of sweet. And then we get the gut wrench at the end, where it's shown that she is the disaster. And it really just kind of paints a light of, like, the game will use your wish against you. Like, oh, you wanna win this not just for yourself but for your family? Great, we're gonna hold them kind of like hostage, figuratively. Do what we want. Be the asshole. And maybe you'll get a chance to win. And it's just like, it's very manipulative. It's very asshole-ish. It's a very fascinating way to, like, look at all this stuff, right? It's not necessarily like, oh, the players are in the game. The game is an antagonist. Like, there's 3 factions here. We have the players, the game, and the Yamato. And I definitely feel like the game itself, the DGP, is the more likely, like, full bad guy. You know what I mean? It feels like that kind of vibe. But overall, this was just a fantastic episode. It was not super heavy on, like, plot details of, like, the ongoing stuff. It was much more about character. It was much more about, like, the interactions between all the players and all that kind of stuff. Really letting the disaster kind of fit into what they're doing. Buffa and all of his stuff, it's all good. Ton of great fights, great choreography, great camera work. All, like, this show is just going above and beyond what it needs to for, like, fight scenes and for the camera, and just all of it working together, doing a lot of interesting things, using a lot of techniques that I don't know if they've been using drone footage previously, but I'm here for it. The drone footage has just kicked this show up like a notch. You know, it's phenomenal looking. We do get some setup with the intro of the goth chick. We don't know a super ton about her, but it is interesting, you know? It is really cool to see. And we got a lot of great character work for, like, everybody. Especially Ace, because here's the thing. It's not front and center character work of, like, here is Ace going through a character arc. It is the subtle character work. It is the little things that have been playing in the background, like, really showcasing in this episode. Because this is a Keiwa episode. Keiwa is trying to deal with his sister, and the whole time, Geats is playing backup. He is going like, alright, cool, I'm gonna play my cards to help you save your sister. Because he recognizes, yeah, that's a fucked up situation. And so they're doing the whole thing, and they get hit by an apple bomb. Oh no, why are we getting hit by an apple bomb? They didn't see a Jumanto. So they're going like, okay, it's a disaster. It's the disaster. They're doing this. Okay, what do we got to do? What do we have to do to stop all this? So they're planning and figuring things out, and I definitely feel like it being specifically an apple is going to play into it. Like, I can just see Lopo, who is the disaster, saying like, oh yeah, you guys got hit by an apple bomb. We never said we got hit by an apple. Oh shit. And it's revealed, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they figure the whole thing out. They do all that stuff. Geats goes like, okay, well, go deal with your sister, do all that kind of stuff while I fight Buffa. And we get an interesting scene between Geats' superfan and Buffa's new sponsor. And they're kind of like facing each other and are really like, because the superfan goes like, hey, this is here for people who support writers, right? And she goes like, "Oh, I have a writer now, and it's Buffa." And the game is getting out of the hands of the producers, because the producers definitely is like trying to keep control, and no, there is no control now. The Jamatos are going out of control. The players are getting more and more powerful. There's just so many little layers of things that are going on that are just like this whole tower of cards is going to come crumbling down, and I cannot wait to see that happen, because it's definitely very much an idea of like, these people are abusing their power over others, and I would love to see the whole what's the word I'm looking for, the karma of it all, you know. I would like to see their just desserts. But you know what? That's not it for Gateway to Geats. Gateway to Geats? Gateway to Geats. I'm here. It's Gateway to Geats. Gateway to Geats this week, because as always, we have some comments. We have a comment from the Accumulator. Love that you took the extra time in this one to delve into the themes. Yeah, I felt like I hadn't done that recently, and I really wanted to kind of dive back into those ideas. And expanded lately. Separating the A and B plots recaps a nice touch too. Yeah, it just felt better for the flow. It seemed interesting to do. I'm pretty sure Neon sponsors her dad, since he's the one that gave her the Beat Rise buckle originally and helped her out with stopping glare. There's definitely going to be a layer there, but I don't think he is the sponsor directly, because of how he left the room and said like, oh, she has someone help her out. The fact that we haven't seen him yet this arc, in fact we've seen him now, is making me a little suspicious that she is either a disaster or has some other sketchy thing going on. There's some other sketchy thing going on, but we have seen him now, and we know who the disaster is. So like, we'll see how this plays out, especially with how Neon is becoming friends with Lopo. You know, the baby Yamato are. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't say who made this comment. It's a go to friend Fish Pop. The baby Yamato are evolving, and that can't be good. Oh no, it's definitely not good, especially with Buffa becoming a little man thing. Yeah, Buffa's becoming a giant sized man thing, and that definitely can't be good, because oh boy, how is he gonna respond to Keiwa and Ace? From Slime Beast 2003, can't believe they put that on live TV. Anyway, episode was good, and I was glad to see Tycoon win. Oh yeah, it's great to see Tycoon get some wins. It's also fucked up to see that happen to Buffa. This is probably how they treated every player before Buffa. It's just treating him like a meat, treating him like just a token for their entertainment, and that's just kind of like what this episode is really getting across, is they don't give a shit, you know. It's a very good thing to see in like that kind of thematic showcase, you know. Fight for your desires, but like, don't let other people abuse your desires to get what they want out of you, you know? Like, it's a good little counter to the major desire through line that the show has. From Esconde, maybe it's just me, but I really like it when Ace refers to Keiwa as Tycoon. Yeah, that's fun. Was great to see him really nice to Kayla this week, between cooking him steak, clearing the doubts, and the assists of the power builder, making platforms for Kayla to leap off, leading to the final broken visor shot was awesome, and it looks like Kayla's actor got to wear the suit for that scene. Oh yeah, it looks great. I hope he did, because that's just a really cool, like, this is like maybe the earliest a broken visor has happened in a season, so that's a fun little feather in the cap for the actor and the character. And yeah, Geats is going like, all right, cool, I need Keiwa by my side. He is useful. He is a teammate. I trust him, and it's great. It's great to see that. Really hope Keiwa gets more space to work in the lounge now that we've ejected Ned Sparrow. It didn't look like he did. That man deserves more than just a couch. Of course he does. That determined look at the end suits him too. I definitely feel like he kept that determination in this episode, you know. It wasn't necessarily of like, oh, I can't trust people. It's much more of like, I gotta save my sister. She always gets wrapped up in this. It's hilarious. And the Buffa stuff continues to be the most interesting. I think Nerum's going to frame his return as Yamato that took the form of a deceased player to maintain the realism of the DGP. That's going to be something with the producer, I definitely feel. But to see him kind of become Yamato-ized, like a man thing, I wonder how that's going to lead into everything, you know? But yeah, Buffa's been killing it this arc. It's great. It's fantastic. Overall, really good. But hey, guess what? That's kind of it for the video. I hope you enjoyed these little thoughts I've had about Kamen Rider Geats. Oh god, episode 20? Fuck me. You want to know how you could support me? You could subscribe to the channel to see this and other upcoming videos. You can also follow me on a variety of social media. Links to those are in the description. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr. Like this video, do all those kind of things. And as always, stay geetsy. Till next time.